All right, guys, I have a way different video for you today, but we've talked a lot, or I have mentioned a lot on my channel about here's whatever knife I'm talking about. This is great to just have in the car. And then this other knife, this is a great one for the trunk of your car, the toolbox in the bed of your truck, etc. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about why you would need a knife in the car. Now, a lot of those ones I talked about previously were just like a backup knife. So have you ever walked out of the house without a knife? I mean, God forbid. Whoa! I think it's happened to me one time. And I actually drove away from the house and I legit didn't have a knife that day. And I was only gone for a little bit. I ran to the store or something. I don't know. So a lot of the knives are for that, to just have in the glove box so you have a knife in case, for whatever reason, you find yourself without a knife. You lose it at the beach, you get back to the car, you have a knife. Those types of things. Today I want to talk about knives that you should probably have in the car specifically for use in the car, if that makes sense. So the first one I want to talk about here, this one came from my buddy Gary, who owned a company, C2G Fab, that mostly did Kydex sheaths. He did some paracord bracelets and paracord phone cords. Like he wrapped a lightning cable in paracord for me, things like that. And in my past, I've been into off-road racing. So I ran Ultra 4 and was co-driver and whatnot. We had to have a seatbelt cutter in the race car that both the co-driver and the driver could reach. And we used this one. This one was in my off-road Jeep. This is from Gerber. And it cuts seatbelts just great. I didn't even set up a thing, but you guys get the idea. Seatbelt would go in here, pull it back, and it rips open the seatbelt. I think these are great to have in the car. This one was legit bolted into my Jeep when I had my off-road Jeep. When I go to Moab and off-road with my buddies there every year, the Bronco that I'm in absolutely has one of these that I can reach as the passenger and one that the driver can reach also. Sometimes it's one that's mounted in the center. Sometimes it's one on either side. But this is something that's good to have even in a passenger vehicle. You wouldn't necessarily need this specific Gerber type. There's a lot of different seatbelt cutters on the market. And I've seen some that are actually attached to, or you can attach it to the seatbelt down on your left side or on the right side where the buckle is. You know, whatever works for you. It's not a bad idea to have, even on just a street-driven vehicle. You get in an accident, that seatbelt stretches, the buckle kind of jams up. It can happen. Not a bad thing to have. The other great thing to have is a Swiss Army knife, a Victorinox. It doesn't necessarily need to be this big Swiss champ. It could be really any model, but this one particularly, because I've got one, would be a great one because it's got pliers on it, so you could do some stuff. It's got the screwdriver attachments, or, it's got the flat blade, so you could tighten a hose with it. It's got a Phillips, so you could do some stuff. There is a saw blade in this one. So if you needed to cut a hose, you could legit do that with this saw blade and or the knife and cut down a hose or a belt or, something, right? There's always little things that you might need to do in a car on a long road trip. Maybe you have a tool bag. It depends, right? Maybe you've got a little tool bag in the back. Great. But if you don't, something like this could absolutely get you through in a pinch from the side of the freeway down a few exits, down, 10 miles to a turnoff where there is a gas station, where there is more of a quote unquote civilized area. If you're traveling across the country, or, heck, for me, going from Northern California to Southern California, there's areas where there's nothing. Something like this might help, or you might be able to just get your way to that next exit where there is a gas station and some help or assistance, if you will. So just kind of a quick video talking about having knives in your car specifically for the car. Do you guys have anything like that? Let me know down below. Thanks a lot, guys.